So first, we're gonna sign in to My Awaken.
But what are you talking to us about? Give me an introduction of what
Okay.
this is gonna all be about.
So this is the process of doing data locations for matching people from the new high cards and putting them into. Sorry, my mind's just blank.
So from Google Drive, we're basically gonna check
Yes.
what the data team, they've scanned the high cards. They have these in a folder. We need to make sure that they've scanned the high cards, that they've inputted them into My Awaken. So this is the process of us verifying that they've gone from being scanned to being inputted to My Awaken. And if they haven't been inputted, you're going to give us some steps on how to input those into My Awaken. Okay, great. So we got an introduction to this. Okay.
Okay. Cool. So first things first is you sign in through the assimilation at awakenchurch.com.
Okay, great.
Email, you get in there. We're going to go over to forms.
Great.
Always want to make sure you're on admin, which
Great.
we are.
Great.
So you find the high card 2021.
Great.
And you see how there's 84 unmatched. We're going to click on 84 unmatched. We're on the unmatched list.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna need to have two open pages, which is My Awaken, and then the second one is Google Drive, which will sign in under assimilations as well. So you'll always have these two open at the same time. So now that you're in the Drive, you're gonna search up.
So you can see that we're in the Drive, show.
Yeah, right here you'll see you're in assimilations leadership channel.
Great.
So first thing you want to do is search data locations.
Great.
Here it is. So here you'll see every campus who has inputted their own cards. So for example, we go into Eastlake, and here you'll see all the leads, all the people who are responsible of putting in cards.
Mm-hmm.
So some weeks, some people, not all of them do this every single week. Some weeks one lead does it, and maybe the next week another lead does it. So you want to make sure you go through each and every name. As soon as you open it, you should see here somewhere some cards. So for example, this person didn't do it this week. We'll check Alicia.
And how do you know they didn't do it that week?
We know that they didn't do it because as soon as you open, just how there's these files here, there should be the cards. You'll just...
So if you don't see any...
Yeah.
If you don't see any high cards like over here in this section, that means that particular lead was not assigned that week, so then we would just back out and check the next lead, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So now we go into Chris Brown. Same thing. So if you see some files like this, just ignore them. These have nothing to do with the high cards.
Great.
So we'll look at Laura Gallardo. If you notice, there should be a file like this that says completed files, which we'll keep in mind. We'll go into Carolina. So you see now you can start to see how she has inputted these cards. So from this point of view, it looks like there's only 3. But when you double click and you open it, there will be more. So you see there's 2 out of 4. And you will go through each and every single one. And for example, this one says Nicole Natividad, and this is when we go back to My Awaken. So then here you want to press Command F, or sorry, Control F. Oh, is that up here? Okay, so you'll see it up here. Control F it, and you'll start to type in the name that you just saw. So Nicole.
the first 3 letters of the first name and the first 3 letters of the last name is the fastest way.
Yes, so here you see Nicole. So you just want to make sure that the people who inputted the high card on the Gmail drive have also have put it into My Awaken. So now that it's here, you
So just if I can interject, so basically all we're doing here is we're confirming, even though we see that this lead has these 4, because it says down here 2 out of 4, all we're doing over here in My Awaken is confirming that it has in fact gone from being scanned to now that this lead has actually inputted this. Now that we see this person over here through clicking Control Find, that confirms to us that that has actually been inputted into My Awaken. So that's the purpose behind what we're doing. So are we going to then do that for the next person?
Yeah, so
kind of rinse and repeat?
Yes, you're going to continue to do that for each person, but it's better to not match them quite yet until you're all done.
Okay.
So you'll go through each one and make sure that they are there. You can also go back, and Carolina Cecina was the one who inputted these cards.
How do you know that?
So here, when you pick the campus, you pick the name. So she's the one who put these in. So here
You can see her
you'll
name
see her name here.
Okay.
So sometimes to make it faster, you can, when you press Control F, you can do the lead's name, Carolina. So here you'll see, you'll see
and I like to do the first 3 letters of the first name, first 3 letters of the last to make it quick. You gotta do Control F.
no, that's not it. No, it's not popping up.
Just go back and come in and out. So it was Command F on a Mac?
I believe so. Okay, so here we'll look up Carolina, and here you'll start to see her name highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Uh-huh.
So once you see that there's
It'll
7,
show you the date as well, right?
yes. So you'll see the date, July 18th. So we counted 7. So what you can do is you can actually go in, count if there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll see there's 4 there. There's
another 4 there, but some of those are blank, so we wouldn't see.
Yeah, so
So
here's
2.
another 4 that's already 8.
But some of those were blank.
And
Yeah.
one more, 9. So
that confirms to us based on these numbers over here. All we've done is counted how many are highlighted here under this date, and then we've come back here and we've counted. Now some of these, it's 1 out of 4, but we can see some of these are blank, so she wouldn't have been able to input them. So if there's more numbers, more cards over here, remember we're only counting the ones that are filled out. That's all she would have been able to input. So I just wanted to interject that real quick.
Yeah, so
and then are we pretty much coming to a close here, or what else?
Yeah, so obviously subtracting the ones that are not filled out,
Okay.
it matches. There's 7.
Okay.
There's 7 here, and then you will see 7 here. So because it matches, then you'll be good to go. You don't have to go into each individual one. You're just good to go, and then you can move on to the next lead and the next campus.
Great.
And after all that is done, you will then go here and you would drag these into completed once you've checked them all.
Can we copy them all at once? Highlight them
So
all?
you drag
Yes.
the ones that's not completed? What do you do with the ones that's
Everything.
Everything
Just everything.
complete.
So
So you
as
can-
you've counted them and then you drag them into the completed, and that's it.
Yes, so you can
Yeah.
highlight them all, drag them to the completed, but these aren't finished yet. And then you can move on to the next lead or the next campus if you don't see any more.
What do you mean those aren't finished yet?
Like we haven't
You haven't
we
checked
haven't
all
done
of them.
yeah we haven't
Oh.
checked all of them yet.
Okay.
Just checked one name.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So then once you finish all the campuses, all of the leads, then and you've seen that there's no numbers out of order, then you'll be able to finish the matching, and then they can go on to the next process.
So let me ask a hypothetical question. Let's say we go here, we hit the command F here. Let's just say we're looking for Joe Smith, and you can see up here 0 to 0. So that's even another way. So you see the 0 to 0. What was the gal's name? Carolina.
She's the lead.
See, Carolina
Cecina.
Cecina. So we could see here that it's 1 out of 8. Let's say if we don't see any here, then are we just reaching out to this lead at that campus to say, hey, just wanted to check, and were you able to get those inputted? When do you think you'll be able to get those inputted? Like, what's our next step if we don't see that they've actually inputted them into the MyAwaken?
Okay, so if you go on the drive and there's a card that you see here, but it's not here,
Right.
there might have been a mistake. So at this top right corner, it says fill out the form for another person. So then you will click that, and obviously you would have the person's name here. Like for example, this one, Yolanda Davis, and you would.
But we wouldn't fill Yolanda Davis out since it's a blank form. We don't want to
Yes.
enter a blank form, right?
Of course, we would never enter a blank form, but just using a name for an example, then you would type in her name, and if it's not there, then we would fill out a new form for her
And then fill that out.
and fill that out according to her card. But of course, because her card was empty, we don't have that information.
Gotcha.
And once you fill this all out, then you submit it, and now they're officially in the MyAwaken system.
Okay. And is that it?
That's it.
All right. We want to thank everybody so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.